Money is leaving China in huge quantities. Close to $1 trillion moved out of the mainland over the last year, and this flight of capital is showing no signs of slowing. Up until 2013, China was considered one of the world's most dynamic economies. But its wealthy citizens are now fleeing en masse due to the desire for Western education, as well as concerns over air pollution and food safety. Many are losing confidence in the stock market, housing market, and currency, and the urgency to get their money out keeps climbing. Obviously, the Chinese government isn't thrilled by this. Chinese law puts a $50,000 annual cap on how much money a single citizen can move out of the country. But the law has a number of loopholes. The simplest is known as smurfing. If you've ever watched the show, you'll remember that each tiny blue creature devoted itself to the larger community. Smurfing involves several people each contributing $50,000 into a foreign account, which collectively results in a sizable fund. Such is the desire to get one's money out of China that those who partake in smurfing are willing to put up with heavy transaction fees in order to get their money out of the country. Other loopholes require Chinese citizens to get a bit more creative. Some will travel to Hong Kong, where they'll open a bank account and then visit a currency exchange shop. This shop will provide the client with a bank account number located on the mainland. The customer then completes a domestic transfer from their account in China, and the money changer will take the equivalent in Hong Kong or US dollars and move it into the customer's Hong Kong account. There, it can move freely across the globe. China's super wealthy class, on the other hand, hold enough assets that they can visit a bank on the mainland and open an account in another country with the same financial institution. They can then apply for a loan overseas as a way to access the capital, so long as they have the assets, like real estate, to use as collateral. Others, unfortunately, are so desperate to get their money out that they've tried flying out with cash strapped to their bodies. Much of this capital ends up in real estate, in cities like Sydney, Vancouver, and New York. In 2015, Chinese investors pumped more than $30 billion into the US real estate market. There are a couple of reasons for this. The Chinese want stable investments, but they also want to set their children up for life outside China. This focus on the future has given rise to the EB-5 visa program, which grants visas to foreigners who invest $500,000 in projects that create jobs in the US. In 2014, more than 80% of the 10,000 EB-5 visas issued went to Chinese nationals. The Chinese government is starting to clamp down on these loopholes. In November, regulators asked the country's banks to flag customers that may be violating currency controls. Now, if more than 4 people transfer large sums to one account, they suspend the account and open an investigation. The dilemma for the country is how to protect the Chinese economy without prompting more outflows. And for now, that battle is still being fought. According to the U.S. Immigration Fund, roughly 85% of the money that they help clients to invest into the EB-5 program is still coming from China. You've probably heard a lot of Donald Trump's concerns about China, but the country could be seeing serious threats to its status as an economic powerhouse.